If you don't know, we're going to have them introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the 160 series. In fact, we had a 7160 at their farm over the last couple weeks, and I think we kind of maybe sneaked that out, right? But we're going to talk through that, but I'll let the guys introduce themselves.
Hi, so my name's Nick Welkers, as you guys probably know. Pleasure to meet you all. Real quick, have I met any of you before? Raise your hand before I feel silly. All right, so I'll remember all of you and I'll be like, okay, yeah, we met, yeah. Instead of that, have I met you before? Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, okay. Good, well, it's gonna be fun to meet you all again. For those we haven't met, I'm sorry. And I'll introduce this guy.
So, obviously I'm leg arms, most people know that, but I have the mind of a goldfish, so whoever you just met, it'll be first time for me, so just saying, this is gonna be fun for me. I don't know about you guys, but then of course I'll let this guy introduce.
Well, I have a reason to forget, at my age, but anyway, my owner is Kobe. I follow these guys along, been third generation farmer. Fourth and fifth is on the farm right now, so it's just exciting to be here and to meet you guys and to talk about the products that have come on our farm and that we are using, and so I'll leave it to Leo to start us off.
I call Bob our dad, right? So
yeah, there you go. Yes.
He keeps us centered, right? We're going to show you a video, and we'll kind of split off here a little bit to kind of see a little bit. Welker Farms had a chance to experience our 7160, so we're going to show a little bit of that operation, that video up at their place. And for me, the 7160 brings in a culmination of technology. When we look at technology, as you'll see once we play the video, we can advance to the next slide. That video, you'll see actually they got a chance to put it through their paces on their farm. So take a look at the 7160, larger grain tank capacity up on top, 350 bushel grain tank capacity. But it all started in the front and going through the machine. So with our partnership with McDonald Industries, our FD250 series allows us to not only gather that crop, but get it into the all-new feeder house. The feeder house has a variable speed feeder drive. So it will increase and decrease as you go through the field. But the heart of the machine is that axial flow rotor. There you can see the 7160. It now has AFS harvest command in base of the unit, so ordered right from the factory. It now allows that combine to automatically adjust. So it takes 15 different sensors, inputs, and then changes 6 different adjustments on the machine. So in the past, you used to have to adjust maybe rotor speed, cleaning fan speed, cleaning position of your sieves. Now that does it automatically. So we got this text, I think it was Nick or Scott, and he said, hey, do you have any combines that we could actually maybe run this season? I said, oh yeah, maybe we can get one up and help you with harvest, because they wanted to make sure they came to Farm Progress Show. So basically what we've done is let them get a chance to preview the 7160. So this afternoon we're going to talk a little bit about what their experiences were, right? So bring you guys back up, and I guess, when you take a look at that technology, whether it be higher quality grain, so our core principles are grain quality, looking at grain loss, right, minimizing that, crop adaptability, match capacity, that's really what we're trying to do, and it all comes down to that grain tank. And for that grain tank, when you look at what you're getting paid, right, when you bring that into the elevator, it's really about what that quality of crop is. But I want to hear from them specifically on what they experience inside that cab. So we're going to just kind of go back and forth and kind of see what that experience was. And Nick, I think you were the first one that had a chance to get up inside that cab. And what was your overall first impression?
Well, initially I had a lot of flashbacks of our 2588s, just a little bit smaller frame. It's a very similar platform. Obviously it's not a flagship, but the cab felt like a flagship. I mean, everything inside was very nice. There was a cooler under the passenger seat, good audio, and good visibility. The feeder house is a little bit shorter than the flagship, so it's kind of fun standing, seeing the header a little closer, be able to look down. But it was really, I mean, right off the bat, I have ran some 250 series, so it was real familiar. Didn't take longer for me to get refreshed again and jumped in there, and really nice. Love the multifunction handle. It's so nice.
Familiar to you, right? You got it in and you're able to adjust or see what you have. And I think you had an opportunity to run harvest command, right?
Yes, yep. Yeah, we got to engage that. First time I experienced that was a couple years ago with a 250, and it's always fun watching it go. There's those that are experts at setting your combine. I will never say I'm one, and I think sometimes I got it figured out, but it's probably just the conditions, because all of a sudden a cloud goes over and it gets a little shaded, and all of a sudden the combine starts doing weird things again, and I'm fighting it again. And that's typically what slows us down, is we're trying to keep the loss out the back and keep the grain in the tank clean. And so ultimately what usually ends up happening is we're pulling back, going slower, because that's the best way we can handle that. If we were savvy enough, maybe we could be in there adjusting stuff better, but with this, it's nice. It just goes, and I'm like, oh, we're doing 6 miles an hour. Okay, it must be doing great. Look back, looks good. Look at the other combines, they're doing 3 miles an hour. Well, they're fighting it, and that's what we experienced that day. That footage, actually, I was the one flying that drone in that. And that night, we were in probably some of our best wheat on the farm, which was around 30 bushel, which I know is not high, but for us, this year it was a great crop. But theirs would have about the same horsepower, the 45-foot head. This one had a 35-foot FD2 head on it. And I was doing 6 miles an hour. We went out and we looked, very little loss to the ground, almost identical to the other combines, but they were doing 3, because if they pushed any further, things would start spiking on the loss return. So that's where the Harvest Command, for me, I love it.
Yeah, you can see it. That base unit's got 350 horsepower. We grew up to 444. So that meant leg arms actually got to drive it then if you were running the drone then.
Yes.
So I should say drive it, operate it, right?
Manage it.
Manage it. Can I call you leg arms? Is that all right?
For now, I guess. Only best buddies do that.
Okay. We are buddies. I think we are best buddies. So Scott, maybe talk through, you had a chance to run it, right, and operate it. To Nick's point, when you look at Harvest Command, what did you notice about maybe that Draper head out in front?
So at first I was like, oh, this is a flex head. All right, let's just see what it can do. To be honest, there was moments where I'm like, oh, here comes a rock. Do I dare lift it up? Because my impulse on my old headers is like, lift it up, get it out of the way so you don't smash the header. I'm like, no, resist. Let it see what it can do. And I'm cringing, and it just hits that rock, just glides right over it. I'm like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. And then you get to like these dips and these like washouts and places. I'm like, oh, I gotta lift the header up. I'm like, no, hang on, let's just see what this can do. And I just kind of let it go through its pace, and like I would cringe if I took my 45-foot header through this. And I just let it go through, and it just kind of crawled through the terrain. And I'm like, man, like the sweat off my brow was like, oh, I thought I was going to wreck the header. Like, you didn't want to hear that, but I wanted to see what it could do. I mean, so that was pretty impressive. I think overall, like the combine, from a mechanical point of view, it felt like I knew the combine, because we've had a 1680, 2188s, we had the 2588s, and that platform of that combine is just so similar. It's like you took that platform and just beefed it up. You made all the weak points that I was looking around, which we used to have cracking areas around some bushings and stuff. It was just thicker, it was bigger, it was stronger, and then you put more horsepower to it. And the fact that you have automation to it, it's a pretty sweet little machine. I mean, you can't really compare it to our 8230s because they're a completely different platform. But from a mechanical point, it's a simple, easy machine to work on. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, from your mechanic side, I'm trying to figure out what text you're going to send me that would say, hey, Leo, we broke it.
Oh, we did.
Make sure you ask these guys on what they did with the machine. But, for us, though, to get it up in their conditions, and this combine that actually you're looking at that you saw in the video actually started down in Arizona. So it follows the whole harvest. In fact, it's keeping going north, and we have a full product validation fleet that's out there putting acres and hours on machines. So we had the opportunity to get these guys in the cab, but best for last year, not last. Something about grain quality. I think you have popcorn every night, right? I think.
Oh yeah, that's my dog's command. That's not Harvest Command, that's dog's command. They want popcorn every night. Anyway, so yes, as far as the popcorn quality, the grain quality coming out of it was good. Okay, but that's not really. It can be good on our combines. But what happens when the conditions change throughout the day? Are you on it all the time, switching back and forth? In the morning, dew, tougher. In the middle of the afternoon, it's hot. Everything shatters. And conditions change. Your sieves and all of the products have to be running together. Where here, if you look at it when you're running, I mean, there's stuff moving all over the place, finding the best sample for you in what it needs to change to be able to get that sample. Whether it's the change of the sieves, the vanes, the rotor speed, the concaves. It takes a picture every almost 10 seconds, whatever, and it analyzes. So it's constantly doing what you might only do 3 times a day. It tries to do it all along. And so that is such a relief. You don't have to say, oh, okay, maybe you're messing with your phone because your GPS, nice straight fields or something like that. You look over there and it's all messed up. Like going that. Well, in this combine, it's saying, yeah, I know you're going to be on the phone. I'll take it over for you right here, and you can do that. So anyway, I found it very relieving, and it's a good product.
Yeah, when you look at harvest, it's chaos time, right? Everything's going, trucks, what's broke down, looking at what you need to fix. Now you can let harvest command automatically adjust whether it's in the morning, noon, or night. So whether it's dew coming on, that rotor speed's going to change. And the reason why I let off with popcorn, Nick, right behind you, can you grab that tube there? I would encourage you after this. In fact, we have a story. We have a lot of producers that do food grade quality. So we say the quality is in the bag. And actually, I have a producer down in Bernie, Missouri, just about 200 miles south of here, that actually is vertically integrated, grows his own popcorn and packages it. And what he uses is Harvest Command, and what he sees is that he gets 99.5% whole kernels. That's why he chooses to only have his fields harvested with an axial flow combine with Harvest Command. So when you look at Fancy Farm popcorn, Zach Tanner, one of our premier growers and producers of popcorn, I'd encourage you, you can actually go in and have some popcorn on us, and actually you can take one of these home with you. They're over there, so try it. But we have other producers, whether it be rice producers down in the Delta that actually grow food table rice, right? So when we take a look at rice, or whether it's pasta, a lot of our axial flow combines really round out that grain quality story. And I think you've had some videos probably with some of that popcorn, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We did. I thought you were going to show Kobe eating it. Yeah, me tossing it too. But yes, and it is awesome. I'll tell you, that's a great way to package. Everything's there, and it's coconut oil. So.
Yeah, it's different, right? Yeah.
That's good for you.
So coconut oil, put it in the popper and let it pop, right?
You bet, and enjoy our videos. A plug.
So Scott or Nick, is there anything else when you look at header to spreader on that 160 series that really stuck out at you, that really pulled your attention to? Is there anything that you want to convey here?
Well, I think it was kind of fun seeing 2 monitors in there and a bunch of wires sticking out of the side, and you could tell it was a prototype. To me, that is exciting. And the reason why I say that is that means they're working out bugs and trying to figure out, is there any problems that's going to occur? And if there is, they're like trying to make sure that they got everything figured out before it goes to production. I thought that was neat, because like you always hear about prototype combines and machines, it's like that, and actually have one on our farm and play with it. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, to add to that, I was sitting there running it, and they got the panel off the side with all the fuses off, because they got stuff plugged in there so they can connect them on. I'm hearing clicking the whole time going, like, what is that constant clicky, click, 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 and I keep going, and one of the engineers I talked to, like, what is that? He goes, every time that's a relay kicking, it's changing the setting of the combine. So if it's changing the rotor speed, it's changing your sieves, whatever it is, that's a clicking. It's that constant chattering going on in there is the system making adjustments. The relays are kicking the power to the servos and the motors to do everything. Oh, so it's kind of fun. At the day I'd start clicking a whole bunch, and I'd look down, and then I'd see all changes happen, and then I'd go back up and click for a while, and I look down, no change, and all of a sudden, click, 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 click. I'm like, I look down, a bunch of weeds are going in. Okay, I get what's going on now. So that was kind of fun. And the big hopper too. It's 350 bushels, so it's kind of interesting holding the same amount of bushels that our bigger combines do. So, but it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
And then also the sieve is not like your standard 28, the 88 series. It is like the flagship, where it will oscillate up to almost
12%. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of oscillation to keep your sieve level when you're going through dips and side hills.
Yeah, when you look at, I thought it was really flat up in Montana, but when you guys get in some of your fields, it's a little bit rolly, right? So anytime when you look at a combine, maybe a limiting feature or a factor on the machine is the cleaning system, because if you go down the side hill, that grain wants to go off to the side. Well, with the self-leveling cleaning system, we're always maintaining that level, so we don't lose that crop or have the opportunity to lose that crop as we go out. So whether it be on our 250 series or 160 series, we have self-leveling cleaning systems to take care of that. So, yeah. So I think the product validation, Nick and Scott gave you some insight. We harvest pretty much 365 days out of the year around the world, right? When we have our validation fleet that's outperforming. So it was a chance and opportunity for Nick and Scott to get a chance with Bob to see how we do that. And we said, hey, great, let's get that unit up there. And they were the first ones to kind of see that 160 in the field, right, in action. So we thought it was great to have them have an opportunity to tell their experience with the 160 series.
Video will hopefully be out maybe tomorrow.
And
It's been sitting on the editor for a few days. He's working on it.
And if you send more toys our way, we won't mind.
No total. One last thing, I'd encourage you, if you get over to the popcorn area, our history and heritage is about innovation. And we have one of our dealers that's in the audience today that brought one of the Travelettes, International Harvester, the 4-door truck that you see over there. Bill Snare, maybe he could stand up. He's tipping his hat.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome, appreciate.
Beautiful truck.
Yeah, beautiful truck. Yeah, it's so it allows us to show you that history and innovation. That was actually one of the first. When you look at International Harvester, they were the first manufacturer to have a 4-door crew cab. So just like you see innovation, whether it be Harvest Command, some of those things that we're trying to bring to market, you can see we're trying to create innovations that drive productivity and efficiency right of those products. So, guys, I guess I can see everybody's getting itchy. They want to get signatures in that, right? Anything else that you guys want to add?
It's just a pleasure to be here. I think we picked the right week. I heard last week was kind of a torture, so it's nice. This is good weather. It's a little breeze. I can't complain. So thank you guys for coming. We just want you guys to know how much we appreciate you all. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So just know that is the truth. And we'd love to hear your stories. Love to hear where you're from, what you're doing, how your crops are. You're probably gonna get asked that, so just expect it. If you don't farm, don't worry. We'll talk away. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming.
Yep, and also we appreciate Case IH and the whole team in hosting us and just making it so much enjoyable to be under the products that they have and experience. And we want to thank you very much.
Yeah, you betcha. You're welcome. Why don't we give them applause here? All right.